And speaking of those deals, we just talked about Russell Wilson and him going to Denver last hour. I think they become an elite team. And Aaron Rodgers, really no surprise to us, Rob, but he does stay put in Green Bay. We don't know the terms yet. It was reported initially it was a 4-year, $200 million deal. But Rodgers himself took to Twitter to debunk that. He said, hey, everyone, just wanted to clear some things up. Yes, all caps, I will be playing with the Packers next year. However, reports about me signing a contract are inaccurate, as are the supposed terms of the contract I signed. I'm very excited to be back, year 18. So we'll see. It'll come out sooner or later, Rob, what his contract is.
Yeah, but
I'm sure it's in that ballpark.
Absolutely. We've seen players do this, Chris, where they kind of poo-poo it, the reports, and then it's really close.
Right. It's probably not. It's not exact, so you can go out there and
say that, right. Hey, it's not really exactly right. But we know the people who do this kind of reporting, Chris, are in the know. They're not just throwing numbers out. Do you know what I mean? Like, they got a feel for it. So
And remember, we heard, a week or two ago, I guess 2 weeks ago, that Rodgers wanted something around $50 million.
Right.
And so, it's certainly in that ballpark. I want to throw this to you, Rob. Do you think this was the right deal for the Packers? I've talked about, Ephraim Salam's talked about, Rodgers is obviously great. There's no denying that. But they haven't been able to not only not win a Super Bowl, but even get to one in the last 11 years. And now they're paying him roughly $50 million a year. And he's 38 years old. Do you think this is the right move by the Packers?
Absolutely. He's 37 or 38 and won back-to-back MVP. Sure. All they need to do in the next 3 or 4 years is win a Super Bowl. That's the goal.
He's 38. Yeah, he's 38.
That's the goal, to win a Super Bowl. If they can win a Super Bowl in the next 3 or 4 years, I think everybody in Green Bay will be happy, and you can kind of move on and close the chapter on that. So in that division, they own it. We talked about it before. The Lions are bad, and then you got the Vikings starting over with a new coach. When I say starting over, new philosophy and all that. And so with the Bears. So the division is there for the taking. In the NFC, they don't have nearly as many great quarterbacks in the NFC now. Right. It's if you want to say Stafford with the Rams, and who else am I going to?
Murray, there's still some questions about him. Obviously, Wilson's gone. Brady's gone. Dak is not elite.
Right.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Good, but right.
It makes total sense for Green Bay, and in this deal, actually, the new contract helped them, Chris, salary cap wise.
Right.
It alleviated some room. It'll allow them to get Devontae Adams sign him. So it works all the way around. Sure, they have other things to do, but that's why you have a front office to maneuver and make some cuts here and bring some players in there. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. We talked about this before. I never saw him leaving, Chris. I never saw him leaving. I know there was always talk about him, and some people don't think it's that he never wanted to wear another uniform. And, you've heard other players say that. But I believed it with Aaron Rodgers. I really didn't think he was so open. Yeah, he was mad at the organization. Yeah, that offseason where he just went berserk and talked a lot and made people say he was a queen diva because he was so unhappy and voiced it publicly. But I think that it is important for him to stay in that organization, and it just makes total sense. I was not surprised by the announcement today.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised either. I fully expected this. I don't know that I buy that he just was adamant about remaining a Packer for his entire career. I think he would have been open to going elsewhere, but I think he was smart. Rob, look, Russell Wilson, God bless him. He's a great quarterback, but it ain't going to be easy out there in the AFC. We talked about it, AFC West, and you even said it. They're not guaranteed a playoff spot. That's how tough it is out there. And Aaron Rodgers, he could not have gotten into a better situation, Rob. He literally could not have gotten into a better situation. The teams in the AFC that he was looking at, reportedly, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Denver. 3 teams that if they get Aaron Rodgers or if they had gotten a Russell Wilson, as Denver did, would become elite, would be in the Super Bowl conversation right away. And yet, I don't think they would have had a better chance, and they certainly would have had a tougher road than Green Bay. Green Bay has it. They got the best receiver, arguably, in the league. They got one of the top 2-3 quarterbacks in the league. They've got a top defense. They've got a good coach. They got a good run game. Like, they have it all. And as you said, the NFC has gotten worse. The NFC has lost 2 of its top quarterbacks, Rob. And San Francisco, again, question marks at the quarter. I think they'll be good, but they got question marks on paper, at least, at the quarterback spot. Arizona's got controversy going on. And so Green Bay, the division is theirs. And Dallas, I mean, we talk about it. There's always
we talk about Dallas for 25 years.
It's
the same story. Exactly.
Until they get it done, you can't believe necessarily that they're going to get it done. So for Rodgers, Rob, absolutely the right move. For the Packers, and you know I've been on Rodgers, he got to get it done in the playoffs. He's not that guy in the postseason, at least not the last decade, that he's been in the regular season. Even Rob, with all that. And I'm even going to say this. Even if the Packers don't win the Super Bowl, and to me, that's one of the most intriguing storylines out there, is now watching Aaron Rodgers' quest to get his second Super Bowl ring. That's a huge storyline that we'll all be talking about until he gets it or until he retires. Even if he doesn't get it, Rob, I'm going to be honest, I think it was still the right move on the Packers' part.
They had no other choice. They had no other choice because Jordan Love.
They could have started over.
Nah.
I mean, Seattle started over.
They don't believe but they don't believe. They don't believe in Jordan Love.
I totally agree. But I'm just saying, this is the point I'm making is this. Yeah, we all talk about winning that ring and winning the Super Bowl, and that's the end all be all. And if you don't get it, we talk like it was a failed season. And in some cases it was. But Rob, just like I said about Seattle, there's something to be said about being relevant every single year, about being in the hunt every single year, about getting to the playoffs virtually every single year. The Packers, Rob, what is it now? I don't know, 35 years or so? They've had 2 of the greatest quarterbacks ever, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. And they got 2 Super Bowls. But you know what? It's still not a failure. I mean, we can say, and I do believe, you think, man, you should have more than 2. But still, they've been relevant. They've been in the hunt. They've been one of those flagship teams that we talk about every year.
John Elway played.
Yeah, there you go.
John Elway played his whole career, and he didn't win till his final 2 years.
Right.
I mean,
he got to a lot. He's obviously
no, but I'm just saying. He won the winner at that point.
Right.
And it wasn't until his last 2 years of winning those 2 Super Bowls that it changed how people finally looked at John Elway. I'm just saying, like,
and he
so
was
you
a
never
winner,
know.
but he was viewed as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, and this is my point. It'll be disappointing. We will be critical. I will be critical if they don't get it done in these next 3 or 4 years. But if they're in the hunt, 13-3, 12, or 13-4, 12-5, 11-6, making the playoffs, NFC title game here or there, maybe get to a Super Bowl but lose, whatever. To me, Rob, it'll be worth it because you're still giving your fan base what they want is to be in the hunt and to be there.
If you have a backup plan and you really believe in it, then you could have pulled the trigger, and it wouldn't be now, Chris. You would have pulled the trigger draft night when Denver wanted him, right? You could have gotten basically the haul that Seattle got probably on draft night a couple years ago, but they didn't want to make that move because they weren't ready to do that. So I'm with you. I mean, you're still in the hunt. The NFC's wide open, and there's a good chance that you could wind up again in the NFC Championship game with a chance to win and move on. And that's all you need to do. If they can just win one Super Bowl in the next 4 years, it will be better than when Brett Favre was there. He won, one and lost one.
2-1. Yep.
It would be 2-1. And if Aaron were to win again, and it would be 2-0, and then that would be it. You look at most franchises and a lot of great quarterbacks. Russell Wilson was there in Seattle all those years. They won one. They went to 2. They won 1. It ain't that easy.
Peyton Manning won 1.
Right.
Until,
won 1.
Then he goes to
and
Denver.
And then the last year when he goes to Denver, but he wasn't even, Chris, he was due for 95 yards in that Super Bowl.
Right.
Like,
the
it had
years
nothing to do
he
with
was
him.
phenomenal in Denver, and there were some.
Right.
They didn't win it. They got there once, but they didn't win it. He won it as an also-ran, so to speak. But he
won it twice.
But the point, other than Brady, Rob, nobody's like racking up a ton of Super Bowl rings at quarterback. And so if Rodgers can get to, that would be huge for him. And I mean, there's no excuse, Rob, because they have everything. There's really
what they
no
don't have
excuse.
is special teams, and if they don't fix that, they're not going to win anything.
On them.
They had last place. They were last place in special teams, Chris, and it came to bite them.
Yep. But they should be able to straighten that out. I mean, come on. So